Hello, it's me, James, and I'm here with Spug. Hello, Spug.
Hello, James. How's it going?
Everything's fine, thank you. A little tired, but something happened today. Some spoilers were released into the wild concerning future Dice Masters products. So not Dark Phoenix this time, but other stuff. So we thought we'd put together a quick video giving you our hot takes on what was spoiled. So without further ado, let us crack on with the first one, which is Fantastic Four versus Galactus. Spug, what do you reckon to that?
Oh, this looks really cool. I mean, obviously, not least because Fantastic Four are coming back to the game, I think, for the first time since Avengers versus X-Men. That's right, isn't it? That we haven't had any
I
other.
believe so.
Oh no,
Yep.
or have we had the thing? Oh no, maybe not. Oh, I can't remember. But we might actually finally get an Invisible Woman. She is pictured in this artwork right here. So surely we'll finally get a version of Invisible Woman. And James, I know you're particularly excited about the
Galactus.
World Devourer himself.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not the hugest Fantastic Four fan, but I do like Galactus, and I always like a nice big villain, and so I'm very. We've been Nick and I have been calling for him. Bring on the Galactus, so there he is. So I'm very pleased about that. And what is very interesting, also we've got Silver Surfer, who hasn't been seen since AVX. But what is interesting, in addition to that, is that it says solo play. So apparently it's going to be, some kind of solo, presumably some kind of campaign thing, one would imagine. It's interesting because a long while back there was an unofficial fan-made solo version in which you played also against Galactus. So I have no idea if there's any connection there, but it seems pretty exciting to me.
It does, yeah. I'm really interested to see how that's going to play, and I really hope that it's going to bring more people into the game, because I reckon there must be people out there who like Marvel, who like rolling dice, who like playing games, but wouldn't have anybody else who they might be able to play Dice Masters with, but they really might like the idea of playing some solo Dice Masters, and if they can start doing that, they might get tempted into the online scene, and who knows, we might get a bit of a bump in the player pool. So I think this is really interesting, and I'm really intrigued to know how it works. I mean, I'm not the sort of person personally, and I think you're a bit like this too, James, who would necessarily sit down and play a board game on my own. But I am very intrigued to see how it's gonna play.
I'm interested, not so much in actually playing it solo, but in the existence of another format. I find that very quite tittillating, in fact. And the price point is pretty attractive. Apparently, it'll contain perhaps what you need as a one player, so you're going to get some sidekicks and some basic actions. But beyond that, I don't know. It seems pretty nice. Well, as much as we know about it, it could be a pretty attractive package.
Yeah, and actually, I think that price point is interesting too, because it's put at $30. So you would suggest, it's not just going to be a kind of a draft pack or a team pack where you've just sort of got a rather small number of dice. You'd imagine this is more priced up towards a campaign box, isn't it, in terms of the price point? So you'd imagine that, given that the normal campaign boxes have about 70 odd dice in or something, and about 50 cards. You imagine there should be a reasonable amount of product in there. And of course, to what extent will this be playable in kind of competitive two-player?
That's what I was going to say. I just hope we can bring Galactus into the into the two-player game. That's what I want.
25 cost. It'll cost 25 to buy.
But
what will he be? A fist?
He'll be what Supreme Intelligence should have been, but wasn't.
So. Will he be a fist?
He'll be all of them, I imagine.
All of them.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked here. Oh yes, I'm excited. That sounds pretty cool. Okay, shall we crack on to the next one?
Please do.
Okay. That one didn't have a date, but the next one does, and it's April 2021. We have Superman Kryptonite Crisis. That's uncanny, Spug. This is a long-awaited DC set for the DC fans amongst you. It looks good. It's draft packed. We can. No, in fact, you can try and figure out the characters on the side of the pack for yourself. I reckon that's a Starfire purple die there in the middle of the side of the draft pack. We do get a sort of mocked up version, it seems, of a basic action card, the Daily Planet. Draw 2 dice, prep up to 2 of them, roll the remainder. That looks alright. I'll buy that. I'll buy the first one, and I'll buy that.
Yeah.
It's quite exciting that they've made plans for more product. I think this is the big takeaway for me, is that there is product planned into the effectively distant future. Coronavirus has shortened all of our horizons to the next few months.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But this is great. So April 2021, DC fans, gird your loins. Shall I push on to the next one?
All right.
We have Secret Wars. Also draft pack format. This time in June 2021. What do you think of that, Spug?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about this because I remember the original Secret Wars that came out in the mid-'80s. I'm that old, but I remember that story. It was brilliant about the Beyonder kind of kidnapping a bunch of heroes and villains and putting them on a planet he'd made, and
which he'd stitched together out of bits of different. I am equally old.
Yeah,
but it should be noted
but there was that
Spug appears to have a picture of Dorian Gray in his attic. Whereas I most certainly do not.
I think that's a compliment. But I remember Molecule Man chucking a mountain range on top of Hulk and him catching it, and it almost kind of inspiring that scene in Endgame where he's kind of holding up the base after Thanos attacks, which I think is really cool.
Also, the origin of Venom, the symbiote costume, first appeared in the first Secret Wars.
Yeah, it did.
This artwork, however, suggests that it is not the one that we remember from our childhoods, but in fact a more recent one, right? I think there's been a few. Yeah. There was Secret Wars 1 and 2 in the 80s, and then I think this one was. Did you say 2015?
I think it's 2015 or thereabouts.
Revisiting.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with that story, but I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. And obviously, given the nature of the original, I imagine it gives them access to a huge number of different characters that they could turn into cards and dice.
I'm bang up for that. I'm totally ready for that.
June next year. That's currently slated for. So
Superman was April. We should say that Dark Phoenix was, in other spoilers, confirmed. I'm going to say confirmed in inverted commas for November this year. So November this year for Dark Phoenix, April for Superman next year, and June for this one. And the last one, shall I push on?
Please do.
Yeah, the last one is in September next year. It's House of X.
Yes.
Lovely. Looking forward to that. That artwork we've actually just seen in Rally, haven't we? That particular piece of artwork.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's in the Dark Phoenix set, right? You would imagine they would broaden the range of. I mean, they've literally just done, and we don't even know what all the characters in Dark Phoenix are. So let's see what else we might get in that. Looks like that's Apocalypse in the background, isn't it? I imagine.
Oh,
with
the
mouth and that. Cool. Yay.
Yeah.
That's also draft packs.
Yeah, I mean.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say that we've got yet more X-Men. I mean, I know the X-Men are very popular, but it seems like we've had X-Men after X-Men. I mean, even from Uncanny X-Men being the second set that was released, then we've had the X-Men Forever campaign box. Yeah, we've got the Dark Phoenix, which is essentially X-Men. We've got this, which is yet more X-Men.
I think X-Men Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
I personally would like to see some Dark Avengers, please. I'd like to see the Dark Reign campaign box with some Sentry action. Oh man, please bring on, bring back Normie. But let's not get distracted. This is also looking good. And once again, I'll come back to the overarching point that they've planned product until September 2021, man, which in the real world probably means 2022 sometime. So that's very. I find that very positive, and I'm very happy to see it. And well, thank you, WizKids, for giving us all hope.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, just on that planning note, I think it is interesting just to kind of look at the fact that they've planned out pretty much, well, with the exception of the Galactus versus Fantastic Four, this is all draft pack product, isn't it? So moved completely away from the campaign pack, team pack sort of campaign box environment to a totally draft pack world, it seems, at least for the next few months.
The one thing which has not been mentioned, didn't come up in the spoilers at all, is the Spider-Man, the missing in action Spider-Man campaign box and single team pack, which was spoiled ages ago and then sort of disappeared. But apparently there might be some news of that coming, but we don't know what that is yet.
Well, you'd guess that they're probably going to slot that in between Dark Phoenix and the expected April release of the Superman set.
You never know. you really do never know. I think anything
clearly
else.
They haven't lost the license, have they, to Marvel based on what they've been since announced. So
no. I think anything else we say would be wild speculation. So, Spug, shall we wrap it up there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you very much, Spug, and thank you, listeners, for listening. Hope that's been entertaining for you. Please let us know in the comments what you think of the new product and who might be in it and what other stuff you'd like to see. Please vote for Dark Reign. I think that's all from us. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.